News circulated this offseason when the Colts were looking for their new quarterback that Andrew Luck might come out of retirement, and it made a lot of sense. The main reason he left was because of all the injuries, hits, and constant rehab, and now the Colts have a fantastic offensive line, a really good running game, and a defense that is Super Bowl caliber. However, these were all just rumors, but it really got me to reflect on who Andrew was as a player and who he was off the field. And I've came to the conclusion that he is probably one of the most gifted and best quarterback prospects ever, and also one of the most interesting players off the field as well. Let's talk about what makes him such an anomaly off the field. He was born in DC to a former NFL quarterback and commissioner of the XFL, so he was born into a football family, but what he did at college was possibly even more impressive than anything he did for the game of football. He went to Stanford, as we all know, but what's crazy about playing for Stanford is you actually have to take the classes they have there. Not only did he attend one of the most prestigious schools, but he was an engineer major specializing in architectural design. And not only one of the hardest majors there, but he was the best. Just like Kyler Murray was seen as the best player for the NFL and a top 10 pick for the MLB, Andrew was one of the most sought-after engineers in the entire country for how profound his work was at Stanford. Having a life where you can choose which path to make millions and millions of dollars is a pretty great place to stand. So he was obviously very smart. And former teammate Pat McAfee shared a story at training camp during his rookie season with the Colts. He had to show up 3 weeks late because he was finishing his master program at Stanford, but he didn't come behind at all. Apparently, when he finally arrived at camp, he made a check at the line during the first few plays that they hadn't even covered yet. He already knew the playbook better than the team that had been there the entire time. Having a very similar personality to Kawhi, just a very humble, quiet guy with no social media, and he didn't even have a smartphone. He still has a flip phone. Truly a remarkable human being apart from football, but now we can talk about why on top of all of this, he's the greatest college football prospect of all time in my eyes. I can't look at a quarterback and say, they have no flaws. But this really isn't the case with Andrew Luck because he actually has everything you could ever want in a quarterback. Maybe he doesn't run a 4.3, but we'll cover that too. If you're creating a player in Madden, I would pick a 6'4", 235-pound, dual threat, cannon for an arm, can make any throw, insanely high football IQ, can make great decisions, deliver the ball with timing and elite accuracy, and also has the ability to take off, making people miss, or just simply running them over. This is Andrew Luck, and everything around us showed how valuable he was to every team he was a part of. In college, he was a two-time All-American, Heisman Trophy finalist, first Stanford quarterback to throw for over 3,000 yards in a season, and he also carried his team greatly handicapped in recruiting to an 11-1 record, absolutely putting the team on his back to make an improbable run. This made the obvious choice to be the number 1 pick in the 2012 draft. Well, I mean, a lot of people thought it could be RG3, but I always knew that Andrew was the most surefire NFL prospect. So he was taken number 1 overall by the Colts because the Colts finished with a very sad 2-14 record after Peyton Manning missed the season with neck surgery. And in the very next season in 2012, he took them to an 11-5 record, including a playoff berth. And actually, he led them the next 3 seasons to have an 11-5 record, making the playoffs every single time, including a run where he made the second largest comeback in playoff history. They were down 38-10 in the Chiefs in the wild card game, and he came back to win that game 45-44. Watching Colts game, they only went as far as Andrew Luck would take them. They were overachieving, and Luck was able to cover almost every glaring hole they had. The Colts front office just kept paying all the money to all the wrong people. They could never protect him. He led the league in sacks and knocks down 3 out of his 7 years he played. He suffered torn cartilage, concussions, torn labrums, lacerated kidneys, torn abdomen, and calf injuries. And this is a guy that's built too. But the body can only handle so much. The only person that takes a comparable amount of hits is Matthew Stafford. But during this hits, he was still putting up all-pro numbers. In fact, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He led the league in touchdowns in 2014. He was also considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league from a very young age. With all his talent and gift sets, it's hard to sit back and say, wow, this guy had it all. I wonder what he would have done if he was drafted by New England, the Steelers, or the Packers. I wonder if he would have won any or multiple Super Bowls, because his talent is up there with Rodgers, Brady, Big Ben, and all these guys are all-time great quarterbacks. They had more weapons, even though T.Y. is amazing. They definitely had a better offensive line, and for Brady and Big Ben, they have defenses they could fall back on if things didn't go their way. Andrew never had that luxury. In his 37 career losses, including playoffs, their defense allowed an average of 32.9 points. That's almost impossible to overcome on a consistent basis. But we would never get to see this because the Colts failed their rebuild, and Andrew Luck had a season-ending season-ending injury in 2015. He would miss all of 2017 with surgery, have a fantastic 2018 campaign, but at this point, he felt like his whole life was getting injured, rehab, not feeling good or barely feeling good enough to play and to maybe just get hurt again. This is mentally draining, and for a guy with his intelligence, it just didn't make sense for him to continue playing. So at the very young age of 30, he decided to retire. But as I mentioned earlier, he doesn't have any social media. He just has a flip phone, making him a mystery and so fascinating. But what is he up to now? And after looking for a super long time, nobody knows. All I could find is that he still lives in the Indianapolis area. He's married with a daughter. And in another article, T.Y. Hilton said that he's having the time of his life of retirement, and it actually makes him jealous. This makes Andrew, to me, one of the most intriguing players on the planet. Not only am I beyond curious of what he does with his time, what he's like, or if I'll ever understand how smart he is, but to me, his story is up there with Derrick Rose of what could have been if he stayed healthy, because he had everything. The legs, the arm, the mind. He was Tom Brady with legs to me coming in the league, and that's not something I would say lightly. He was an ultra competitor and a leader, and I think the NFL misses him a lot. He was trending to become one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I don't think we ever got to see his full potential in the NFL. But let me know what you guys think. What's another quarterback you think that misses out on his potential or wasted due to injury or just not being in the best situation? What do you think Andrew Luck could have made out of his career? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like the video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below who you want me to do next, and always make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much for checking out the channel. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.